welcome to the Don't Judge, Just Love podcast. I'm Chase.
I'm Shannon.
And this is the podcast where we talk about all the things.
No judgment, only love.
Only love, baby.
Only
That's
love.
right. So on today's episode, this is kind of a two-parter or a three-parter?
Yeah, well, where we left off on the previous episode, we were talking about travel. We got a little carried away because yours truly just really loves to travel.
You can
and
tell how much she loves travel.
I couldn't stop.
In that episode.
I couldn't shut it about it. But what we had wanted to do was share a list of things that our recent trip to Europe kind of made us remember about the EU. Like what it's like to just differences between Europe and the US. This is going to be a short and sweet episode, but hopefully it'll be interesting maybe to people who have been to Europe and or who have thought about going. We just thought it was a fun thing to reminisce about. Okay, so Chase, do you want to start? I forgot that what? Tell us something you forgot.
I forgot that in some places in Europe, or many places, some places, you have to pay to go to the bathroom.
Yeah.
So you have to, and it's not just paying to go to the bathroom, you have to carry the correct currency. So if you're going from one country to another, you have to make sure you have the right currency so that if you have to go to the bathroom, you can get into the bathroom with the correct
which
currency.
we remembered when we were in Milan because we were all about to pee our pants and we like hustled into this little market thing. It wasn't little though. It was like a full-blown store. Yeah, anyway. And at the very top level was the toilets. But yeah, you had to pay. And we had just gotten there, so we didn't have any euros. We only had francs and dollars. And because we had come from Switzerland anyway. And we're like doing the pee-pee dance, and they're still like, sorry, man, like pay up. Pay up or just, I don't know. I wonder what they would have done if they really thought that we were like going to pee our pants right there. I feel like they may
and they give you a ticket, like they have someone that's like waiting there.
Yeah.
Right? That's like checking, that's giving you a ticket. Yeah. And then you have like a little thing you walk through.
Oh gosh, yeah. I forgot about that. I forgot all of the things related to water that are different in Europe than in the US. Such as, like if you're in a restaurant and they serve you water, there's a really good chance that it'll be room temperature. It's not very common. Like it's not usual for them to give you ice. Also, I forgot that a lot of people like there, they will always ask you if you want sparkling water or still water because a lot of people there drink sparkling water. I feel like that's just not a thing in the US. They don't even offer that. Like you would have to specifically ask for sparkling water if you wanted it. And I've never heard anyone ask for it in the States ever. I forgot about that. Also, I forgot that, and I don't know why this is actually, but it feels like water is just a little harder to come by there. Maybe it's because we're traveling and we didn't travel with our own water bottles, and obviously when you're home, like you just have access to all your stuff. But I just felt like I could never quite get enough water, and I always feel like that when I'm in the EU. We're being kind of negative. Let's be clear. We love Europe. Love it. Like it is that's where we always go. Whenever we take big trips, we're just like, well, let's go back to Europe because it's our favorite place. Anyway, so don't get it wrong, but these are just like funny little nuances that we're noodling on.
This one is definitely a pro, but I feel like the pastries in Europe.
Oh my gosh.
And the bread oh my gosh. I just feel like chocolate. I mean, I feel like so many ingredients. They just taste
better.
So good.
The food, I don't know. Like, it feels
cleaner,
like the food
maybe?
In general. Yes. It feels like it's cleaner. I feel like there are more restrictions in Europe than like on what can be in food than there are in the US. And you could kind of tell. So many people told me that they would go overseas to Europe and like whereas in the United States they wouldn't be able to eat like dairy or gluten, but in Europe they could, just because it was like there were, it was
More
cleaner.
options. Yeah.
It was cleaner. Like there were things in,
Oh, I see what you're saying. Yeah.
yeah, there were things in our products of that nature here that they didn't put in the products in Europe that made them okay for them there, which is like a little bit troubling to
Less
be honest.
processed food,
A
more
little bit creepy.
clean ingredients.
Yeah, I definitely agree with that. I forgot how much better the fashion is there. It's better. It's so much better. That's like unequivocal, though. I feel like
When
that's
we were
just
walking
like
through the
a
Amsterdam
commonly
airport,
known fact.
Shannon and I were like, did you see that person? I like that person's fashion.
We
or
were
that
just
style."
checking everybody
We were
out
we just-
shamelessly and like literally like taking notes. I don't know what it is. It feels like everything's a bit more tailored, like it fits them better. And like the men's clothes, especially, I feel like all the men, it was like their clothes were just, yeah, a bit more tailored. And the women too, though, like I don't, it's hard for me to pinpoint like what it is, but it feels like they do classics better and they find a way to like put classic pieces together in a way that looks really chic, but still updated. And I don't know, it's just dead sexy, and I want to replicate it, and I can't. I don't feel like I'm doing it, but yeah, that was something I forgot. What else did you forget, Chase?
Let me see.
I forgot about the dearth of Mexican food. I will say that again, not to get on the negative train again, but that is the one thing. The food in general, I actually think is better. But it's hard to find Mexican food, and that's my favorite. So that is a thing that I forgot until we're there.
I have one of the same ones that you had on your list,
ahead.
but
Still checking my notes.
no, it was
my
good.
facts,
but
huh?
I also feel
Still
like
in my material.
that's right. Accessibility. So I do feel like there were like more. I mean, there are older towns and
What do you mean by accessibility? Like it's
like accessible to disabilities.
Is it less or more?
It's less accessible.
Yeah.
And so I feel like with all of the stairs and like as beautiful as it is, I feel like it is. There aren't as many options for accessibility, or at least I didn't see all of those options. Right?
Yeah.
Like maybe there's some workarounds or other things, but I think I don't know.
Yeah, it makes me curious about folks who live there who do have disabilities or children with disabilities and how they make that work, because the times that we've been there after having our girls, we've kind of felt like, man, I don't know how we would make it work to live here. Cause yeah, it just feels like, so that would be interesting to kind of try to find out how other people do it. Cause obviously they do. But yeah, it does feel like it's slightly more accessible here, although the U.S. has a long way to go with that too, frankly. I do think, though, like you said, it's just we're a younger country, and I just don't think those things were as top of mind, back in the day. We've evolved. I forget how much you walk in Europe, which is like my favorite thing ever. Oh my gosh, I love that. When we were in Switzerland, we ate so much because like we just always do when we're traveling and when we're on these cool trips. We want to try everything, all the food. And I was positive I gained like 10 pounds. Anyway, we come home and I weigh myself and I had lost weight, which was shocking. And I swear
I didn't lose weight.
It's okay, honey. You didn't need to. I swear it's because we walked so much. We just walked so much. I love that. And I love the access to public transportation. I feel like there's just way more access to, public transit there.
And the efficiency of public transportation. I feel like it's so easy, like because, their public transportation is so well established that I feel like getting anywhere you can, whether it's a taxi or a train or a bus,
It's just a little easier.
It's just a little bit easier, and or things are within walking distance, right? So from those modes of transportation, you're able to get wherever you need to go.
Yeah. I forgot how AC isn't like always a thing there. And
I
how
want you to just enjoy the temperature around you.
I feel like you're just kind of like baseline sweaty there. At least I am. I couldn't believe how often on this trip I was just like sweaty, just all the time. I just felt sweaty all the time.
Yeah.
And everyone else around us, like they were saying the same thing. They just felt super sweaty.
This kind of goes with your walking, but I feel like everyone is relatively, I don't know, more fit. Like they walk more. I think the ingredients are cleaner, maybe just like less bloated, more generally fit or slim, or I don't know. It just felt like, again, with less processed food and stuff, you just would see a lot more people that
all bodies
looks
are
healthier.
beautiful.
Yeah.
Let's be clear, but
No, yeah.
yeah, I have to agree.
I
with
think
that.
with walking that much, it definitely aids that.
Yeah. I forget how incredible the architecture is in Europe. Again, it's just like being there reminds me of what like a little baby toddler country the United States is. And they have all of that amazing, like old, just intricate architecture that it's just mind blowing. It's so cool. I forget about that until we go back. And then I remember, you know, I forget about how easy it is to travel to other countries once you're in the EU, which is also my favorite part about it. What I really want to do is take like, I don't know. Well, I was going to say like a month long. I would love to take like a 6 month long, like just like a big old chunk of time, like a sabbatical from everything, all my responsibilities. Just kidding. And just travel around there though. Because you can, if you have the time and you have the money and the availability, because it's all just so close. All right, what do you got? Anything else? Is that it? Are those the ones? Was this boring, guys? We had so much fun. We had so much fun making this list and then talking about it. But I really am curious, like, how is this for the listener? Is this like so boring? I think I said this in the last episode. I feel like I could listen to people talk about travel nonstop, especially if it's somewhere that I've been, because I'm like, oh yeah, you know, like it's just fun to hear their perspective on it. But I could also see how that would be really boring. So feel free to leave feedback and feel free to let us know somewhere, like what are the things that come to mind for you about
when you think about travel
when you think about the EU? Yeah, Europe specifically. I guess like it doesn't have to be Europe anyway.
Yeah. Or anywhere
In
in the world.
Anywhere in the world. Just anything. Just like a comment about anything at all.
Gosh.
Anything you want would be fine.
Well,
Speaking
thanks
of
so much
which, you
for
can
tuning
find
in.
us on Instagram and YouTube and TikTok and all the places. We're Shannon Willardson on Instagram, the Willardson Family on YouTube, Shannon Willardson on TikTok. You can,
Made.
of course, find our podcast on the Family Made YouTube channel or our personal YouTube channel, and then anywhere that you listen to your podcasts, Apple, Spotify, Amazon, I think they're on now. So, yeah. Thanks for being here.
Thanks so much, you guys.
And we'll see you next time.
Talk to you later.